We're live on Twitter now, Facebook. YouTube's always the last one to go live for some reason. And we're live on that now too. So
hello, everybody on the interwebs. Welcome to the Berkeley Poetry Slam. My name is Reggie, and I will be your host this amazing evening. We have a really good lineup of competitors tonight. We have an amazing feature. But before I begin our show, you know what I gotta do. I have to give the thanks to all of the people that make this show happen. Yes, our patrons over on Patreon, holding it down for over a year, making sure that we can continue to provide this space for the free during the pandemic. It's really been because of the support of our Patreons that we've been able to keep our doors open, to get them open as quickly as we did after shelter in place, and to remain true to the community and true to our values without succumbing to the woes of capitalism. We'd like to give a huge thank you to all of our patrons, but in particular, we'd like to give a special shout out to our regulars, Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, and Calla Lily. We'd like to give a special thank you for our workshop sponsor, Jessica Kozakic, and we want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, to Alice Grimm, for pledging $100 a month in support of our venue, the Allen Bluford Center for Justice. If you like what you are seeing, if you've ever been inspired, touched, liberated by the work that we have done here at the Berkeley Slam, Oakland Slam, and the Alchemy Open Mic, you can visit patreon.com/richoakevents to get involved and help with our sustainability. You can donate anywhere from $2 a month to $100 a month. All of those proceeds go right back into running the show, making sure that we can pay artists, pay organizers, and really keep these doors open in a way that is accessible to people of all backgrounds, no matter what circumstances are in the way. Donate. And thank you to people who have been donating and have been supporting us. It is with your support that we've been able to continue. Yes. And now to our show. I feel like a little commercial break. We have an amazing show, like I said earlier. And as y'all know, we have taken this Rich Oak community not just nationally, but globally. And y'all know with the globe, time zones be kicking ass. So in the interest of respecting our features time, and making sure that they are able to get to bed and a healthy amount of sleep tonight, coming at us from the East Coast, we are going to have our feature, Sarah Nwafor, come up first. We are going to have our first round of the slam after that. So I'm going to go ahead and read their bio. Let me make sure I'm pulling up the right list. There's like 4 of these up right now. Lit. So this is their bio. Sarah Nwafor, she, they pronouns, is a Nigerian Igbo American poet, educator, and facilitator who descends from a powerful ancestry. They believe that storytelling and poetry is magic, and they speak to practice traditions of Igbo orature. When they witness her forebears not writing, she's probably sitting under a tree, reading about love, dancing with friends, or cooking a bomb-ass meal like the true Taurus she is. They can be found on Instagram at Sarah Nwafor or on Twitter at Nwafor_Sarah. I need y'all to give a nice, hearty, low-key ratchet, still really classy, Rich Oak Berkeley Slam welcome to your feature tonight, Sarah Nwafor.
Hi, y'all. Thank you so much for that awesome and warm welcome. Like Reggie said, my name is Sarah Nwafor, and I use they and she pronouns. Before I get into my poems, I just want to take a moment and say how grateful I am for this space. Thank y'all for having me. yeah, thank you all for having me do workshops. Thank you for tuning into my poems. Also, thank you, Reggie, for your awesome energy. It's been so long since I've like gotten to have a poetry host make me laugh. So really grateful for you. Um, yeah. Okay. One last shameless plug before I get into my poems. I also want to let folks know I have a chat book forthcoming with Game Over Books. So if you like any of the things I read, you can head over to Game Over Books website and see about me and see about my chat book. And I also posted the GoFundMe that Reggie mentioned on my Twitter, and I'll also post it on my Linktree as well, so that even after this beautiful night ends and you feel like, throwing some coins at Berkeley Poetry Slam, you can do that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to get into these poems. This first poem is called Should My Descendants Ever Need Me? Should my descendants ever need me, then please know that yellow is the brightest occurring color in nature. It is said that the Arushi broke off a piece of joy, took its glow and seeded it in the soil. Find the places where joy has rooted itself. Summon me there in a field of yellow flowers. Find my mother's voice. I'll know to awaken when I hear the calloused palm caress of the Igbo accent. Gather bits and pieces until you have enough. Pluck its rises and falls from a heaving chest. Gather each echo from the hollow of a periwinkle shell. Bring our blood, a cup of seawater, so much of us still lies in the ocean. Remember to wade out this time. When I see you, I want to see you as our kin always dreamed of. A loose fit smile, pumping blood in onyx, bring me my sister's touch. Before I was born, it was her hands that placed the dreamscape of me into my mother's womb. And it will be her hands that gather me from the dirt. I have never lived a lifetime without her. In the beginning, when she was the earth, I was the darkness that hovered over it. So you cannot catalyze creation without us. Find her hands in the red beads of an Igbo wedding, in the pink lace of Ashobe girls, and the paper gold fabric of my mother's gele. Wherever Venus rules, the spirit of my sister resides. Prepare for my coming. Expect my presence when the smell of rain-fed forest pines sweetens the air. Prepare a fire. Feed it fresh ochre-covered tripe and toothpicks until my hunger dies into docile embers now. Watch me rise, a breathing night clad in moonstone. Thank you. I'm also going to go ahead and set a timer so that I can respect everyone's time here, because I know that y'all are excited for these poets after me, and me too, of course, but want to make sure I'm respecting the time. All right, so timer set. This next poem is in praise of the bonnet. I love my bonnet. My bonnet has always got my back, especially during this era of Zoom meetings. When in doubt, bonnet on, camera off. So this is in praise of the bonnet. Black girl can't go outside in her bonnet. Gotta look done always. What's on under the head wrap has to be a secret. Even at the sleepover, only Black girl with a covering, neck snap to attention at the first flick of black fabric, an eye and cast shame in a white spotlight. No nightcap in the movies or the music videos, just always, somehow, falls asleep easy and wakes up effortless, silk pressed, unless you catch her off guard and undone. Once, when a lover shared with me a late night's cricket song through the daybreak, I pulled out my bonnet, and when they forgot their covering, I lent them my do-rag. We dressed our heads in silk to protect us from the chafe of cotton, and there was no shame. Bless this undoing. The first time I FaceTimed with a new friend, we showed ourselves in black bonnets. She breathed a sigh of relief, said, "Good, you already knew what it was." Saw my protection and said it was good. Saw how delicate the strand and said good. When a black person shows you their satin, it is God. blessing of guardlessness, there is comfort in an unspoken understanding, a slight smile, a head nod, a witnessing of selves we've been taught to only show in the moonlight. Soft-bellied in softer fabric, once my hairdresser, with my hair tenderly tucked in hand, remarked on all my frayed ends, asked me if I was keeping myself safe in silk like my sister showed me. Each night, warm brown hands did unto me a ritual of rest, masterfully honeycombed coils to the curves of my skull until I learned to do the same. And she knew I wasn't, that I was fresh from some white girl's house. Bobby shook her head at me. Poor child. Cupped my kinks and anointed my head anew with jojoba blessings, said, don't you break off your edges to make other people feel easy. Praise this bonnet, bestowed upon me, covenant of black hair, with an honor of fragile nature, of delicate strands, of tender touch. Blessed is a rest that is truly easy, where I can hover just so slightly above a cotton fabric, just a silk scarf above ground. Thank you. Okay, can y'all see me all right? Make sure. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, I love many things in my life. One is being Black, so a lot of my poems are about that, but two is being in love. So a lot of my poems are also about being in love and being queer. So I'm gonna start with this one. This poem is when you hear this poem, I would love if you could just close your eyes and let my voice take you away. Okay. This is In Which I Am the Queer Igbo Elder I Needed. Oh, I missed you, my love. I know, it's a long train ride and a bus and a walk to get here, but look at all the quiet and green. Even the ground is happy to hold you. Look how the tall grass arcs its body to see you. There is so much life outside the city. And here, you'll never get in trouble for playing in the dirt or talking too much to the trees. Our grandfathers are ready to talk back. The moist earth is longing for your touch. But enough of that. Let's get you inside. I have some pepper soup and bitter lemon waiting for you in the kitchen. Let's leave all that's holding you in the toilet. Burn it right out of you. I have kola nut too. Let's break bread with new spirits. Our grandmothers have been dying to talk to us. And oh, look at this face and these cheeks. You're as wondrous and as soft as when I first held you. And who taught you that soft was bad? Soft is malleable. You only break when you're brittle, and don't let anyone tell you different. We can flesh that out too. All the nonsense noise of should be's leave in my house if you want them to. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. So, so glad you exist. And you should exist in the purest form of who you are. Oh, that kind of purity is overrated. They really taught us some nonsense outside this home, didn't they? And when I say pure, I mean just being, like autumn, a season of stasis, when the leaves are just tinged with a red slumber. Who are you in your pause? Unfiltered, kind of like how diamonds are still so even when they haven't, even when they haven't been cut yet. Kind of like how diamonds are still so even when they haven't been cut yet. Pure is what happens when you're being the most authentic. I think the best we can be is. And I guess that is why I dress like this. These clothes and this hair and these markings made me feel most euphoric today. I feel like a swaying sky of turquoise and teal lights, and that could change tomorrow. Wondrous. All this non-linear time in my body, all these constructs that gotta melt right through me, but oh, what makes you feel most like you? Now that's interesting. Please sit and tell me while I get the cups. Where's who? Roommate? I haven't had a roommate in 3 years. That's what my sisters and them told you? If you mean my lover, yeah, I didn't know you could be like me and be Igbo either, but yet here we are. And she's out right now, but ready to welcome you in. Just like she did me, that woman has such a quiet flame about her, a candle fire with no flutter. Her presence is warm, is steady, holds you, has held me in all my hailstorm. I can truly be a tempest, a reckless surge with the moon that Oya has touched, but she always sees my hurricane and finds the quiet in it, sees the good intention, knows I'll only uproot the tower if it means we get to climb to new heights, and we have. Every day, we wake up and choose to love, and she's steady. Just like that. Every day, a steady gaze. I pray to choose love for as many days as a rainbow is long, but enough about my heart. I want to hear about yours. It's marvelous, all the things one can be at once. Love asks nothing but to see you, and I wonder who that is, or will be. I already knew you were coming. Thank you. Okay. Thanks y'all for hearing my poems and dropping love in the chat. I appreciate you. This next poem I'm gonna read is called Fall is a Season for Grief. Fall is a season for grief, and there are no more bees to water the earth. The coconut oil has turned solid. My bike has been aching forward, breaking my knees with each slow turn until a man stops me to fill my tires, says it's been long overdue, says he can tell by the sound that it'll be a much smoother ride when he's done, and it is. I glide with ease, and I wonder why I never notice a need for change until my bones are near breaking against a standstill. When I ride my bike uphill, I see the sunset shining on these fire-turned leaves. How the whole sky looks like spilled grapefruit. I think of you, and how you told me my smile was the sun. How it must have felt when it set, when you said you missed the rays and I left you anyway. I cry, bike in hand at the juncture of a hill before tipping into a new height. I cry, despite knowing an end means laying something necessary to rest. Thank you. Okay. This next poem I'm going to do, the title always makes me laugh. So this is a poem in which it is actually very smart to be young and femme and riding my bike alone at night. My mother whispers, "Be careful," as I leave the house. Not for me, but as a prayer for everything that follows in my wake. In this universe, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a documentary on moon spirits and divine femme justice, the kind of justice that makes fertilizer from the skulls of people who've crossed the right one on the wrong moon, the kind that grow flowers from all the dead things in my lawn is a full garden. On the way out, I fondle every pink petal and inhale every sweet vengeance. I wear a yellow tube top in black biker shorts, no headphones. I think nothing of caution or camouflage. I ride downhill full speed into a thick summer night, the air holding me as I take flight. I go to the park where my young girl spirit still plays hard into the dirt, with joyful scrape knee and spit from her cheek, a ceremonious evening dew. I ride with her. The tufts of dust she kicks up a roadmap to my pleasure Always following the trail of my youngest self, I see a group of men staring, and I'm not afraid. I wave high confidently. They wave back. They come talk, and in this universe, I don't feel surrounded. He notices the crescent moon tattooed on my back, knows the symbol and think it means half power. But when has the moon ever been half of anything? Says she's just full on the other side of light. He thinks hidden to mean half power, makes the mistake of touching the symbol, of touching me. A mistake he realizes when his mouth spreads in horror. A mistake he realizes as his hands start to whiten and crumble to dust, and his friends run screaming. Here, I'm protected by the moon and her shadows. I ride my bike through his dust and let his remains glitter my cheeks like a Fenty highlighter. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so I think I have time for about two more poems. So for the next one I want to do, man, I'm torn between these two ones. They both bring me so much joy. I think I'm going to do this poem, and it's called I Went to Church with My Middle School Self, and It Was a Party. I went to church with my middle school self, and it was a party. Well, actually, it was a middle school dance in a dimly lit gym with blue strung lights for just the two of us. When I opened the double doors, she was facing me. I think trying to see what I'll do, if I'll be kind, if I'll finally be someone she can hang out with. I look at her ears and smile, tell her to keep on our grandmother's emeralds. Who cares if they're old lady earrings? They look good. It's nice to have our grandmother's blessings whispering at the frame of our face, and she smiles because she thinks so too. I think I'm in with her now. She takes me, bright orange Converse leading the way to the middle of the gym, and we dance, whipping up a frenzy, her navy gold tie swaying like a flag declaring selfhood, our hair flying, hers, permed, split at the ends, short, mine, curly tendrils caressing and cupping us in our own raven-colored windstorm until the scene shifts. We are in my mother's old living room with warm brown couch and wooden floors and cluttered corners. And of course, the TV is blasting One Direction. So we have to sing off key. And in this praise, Zayn always hits the high note of Gotta Be You, and we attempt to hit it with him, but just sound like feral wolves. Our dying howls dissolving into laughter, as do we on the ground because we don't even like boys or the song that much. It's just fun to be allowed to scream real ugly at something. My preteen self and I lay there, breathless and euphoric for a minute, the glitter of her black tulle skirt rubbing into my skin. She takes my hand and I follow her orange highlighter footsteps up the staircase to a room we used to share with my sister until she went to college, and before it started to feel too cavernous for one, now two, me and me. She leads us to one side of the fuchsia pink walls, tells me to close my eyes and put out my hands, which I do gleefully before feeling the slight weight and smooth crinkle of paper on my palms. Before she even tells me to open my eyes, I already know that she is smiling expectantly and suspect what it is. And of course, it is our favorite book, the one we ran all the way home to read after throwing up on the bus twice because pretend worlds are so much easier than middle school. The one where the main character is a medium who ends up fucking one of her ghosts. I remember reading about her and her phantasmal ecstasies and how it always made us feel like TV static in between the legs in a way that was kind of difficult to explain. Young Sarah takes me to plant ourselves on the room's green carpet, to read and reminisce about these stories that I once loved and found love in. We wondered then why the only boys we dreamed about were make-believes from books, but still, it was nice to imagine being wanted. We weren't weak, but it was nice to imagine being treated softly. I blush to admit this, but young Sarah just shrugs her shoulders. It's true, so it is, not thinking about shame or bravado in the face of our desires, just being. I admire her for that. When we're done, our minds drunk off imagination, I ask Sarah about school. Even though I already know, it's just nice to be listened to and to speak it, so she does. Tell me about the anxiety and the bullying, how she got in trouble for coming home crying because it made her look ugly. I ask her who told her that, and Sarah gets real quiet. I ask her about her mom, and she stays real quiet. So we stay. We stay just like that for a little bit. Her looking at her tanned knees and me cooling my back against the wall, holding each memory upright. We stay in that delicate silence for a long while before I remind her that all those things are happening, but it doesn't mean that all those things are actually true. And when she looks at me for understanding, brown eyes gleaming with an endless curiosity, I say, there are so many parts of us. Like, remember when Jason told you to clean up his mess and instead you threw his crayons down on the ground and slapped him? Or how you read so many books in a year your classmates didn't believe you, and how you're so stubborn about doing the right thing even when it makes you unpopular, especially when it makes you unpopular, all that fire. Those are things I love about us that helped me be me. You're not wholly bad or wholly good, just wholly, which is great, which I'm grateful for. Thank you for existing so loudly. Even when it's hard or better to be quiet, I'm not your mother, but I will be mothering us better, I promise. I'm glad to be giving birth to myself. I'll always be my biggest hype girl and hopefully less often my biggest enemy, and hopefully less often my biggest enemy. At that, Sarah smiled, and I smiled back at the mirror of myself. And of course, this wouldn't be church without the shedding of some tears, without spirit spilling between my lashes, so I let the tears. And after we are through, we dance. Okay, y'all. I think that is it for the time. Thank y'all so much for hearing my poems. I really appreciate you holding space. And I hope you guys have a great slam. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Can I just say, when we got a message from Ariana Brown recommending that you feature, like, I thought I was prepared. I was like, Ariana Brown recommended you, so like, you must be good. I don't think I was ready. I really don't think I was ready. Because I don't know if you see, but like, my edges gone. So I'm going to be definitely trying to figure out where they went after this show. But like, wow, that was such an amazing feature, such beautiful writing. Thank you so much for sharing a piece of yourself in this space. And I'm just so honored to be able to be here with you. And wow, what a way to start out the night, because we got a whole slam. I'm already speechless and we haven't started the slam. Let me collect myself. Collect. Thank you so much, Sarah. Wow. Definitely, if you're watching at home, show your love in the comment section. Follow Sarah on Twitter and Instagram. We'll have their information in the comment section, as well as check out Game Over Books for her upcoming chapbook, because we support Black writers in this mug. I don't know what to tell you. I looked at our feature list and I was like, oh, so we said Black History Month start on MLK Day, huh? I ain't mad at it. Black History Month is every day for us, but we show out right now. Like it's like we show a little bit of our ass the whole year with Black history and like supporting Black artists, but February it's like when you just pull the pants down. But yes, if you like, that's all to say, if you like what you hear, we have an amazing lineup of features coming up. This doesn't stop, so stay tuned. We're gonna move right into our slam. Yes, the competition mode. And of course, all of our slams have rules, because if you could just do whatever you want, it wouldn't be a competition. It would be the United States government. But I'm going to be lambasting this government all day. It's the inauguration of whom? I don't know. I don't know them people. Lord, all I gotta say is Michelle Obama's suit was fly. Was fly. She was fly as fuck. That's the only person I acknowledged that was at that inauguration. But yes, this is not about political issues. This is about the poetry, and we got to put some parameters around it so it doesn't run wild, like 2020. And first, we have rules for the poets. Like no props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment. Please, no nudity. We do not want to see your genitals, especially not on Zoom. Zoom makes everything look just a little bit worse than like it is. It's like looking at yourself in a mirror. Zoom is not an accurate representation of how beautiful you are. And you don't want to do that with something we don't want to see. So please, but most importantly is the time limit. You have 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds to spit one poem. After that 3 minute and 10-second grace period, you will get deducted points by our scorekeeper of the night, the hip hop prophet. After 4 minutes, you will be muted. It will be awkward. I will have to come up and save the awkwardness of the show. I will fail. It will be awkward for the rest of the night. Please don't go over 4 minutes. I don't want to be awkward. You don't want me to be awkward. It's just don't. Cool. We take the top 5 poets that move on to round 2. And poets, keep in mind that we are doing word of the day today. Our word of the day is a time-honored tradition. It is where we take a random word from Merriam-Webster's word of the day, and we force poets to jam it into their poem for an extra point. Our word of the day for today is gulosity, which is excessive appetite or greediness. Wow, that is just on the nose with the political themes. But yes, poets, if you use gulosity or any version of gulosity in your poem, you will get an extra point. Speaking of points, there are people in charge of that, and they are called judges. Judges, thank you so much for being here. Y'all have some rules too, though. Y'all will be giving poets a score from a 0.0 to 10.0 scale, 0.0 being the worst piece of shit you ever heard in your life. It's the last 4 years. I'm not gonna say anymore. Then a 10 is the best thing you've ever heard. It's the next 4 years if Bernie was elected. So, you know, there's not a lot of zeros, there's not a lot of 10s. Please score accordingly. There's this thing called score creep, where as the night goes on, we get more adjusted. Maybe, you know, might be imbibing in whatever substances are of your choice. The poetry starts sounding better. That is not fair for the people that have to go first. So to buffer that, we will give you a sacrificial poet. They're not going to be competing, but you are going to score them as if they are. Use it as a reference point. So when you're scoring a poem, think back. Any poems you like more, score them higher. Any poems you don't like as much, score them lower. There was a question in the chat. We will be announcing the scores of each poet after the next poet. That score will include the word of the day point. So do keep that in mind. There's not like an extra point floating out there in the ether that does get factored into the score that we will announce. Lit. So that is for the judges. And then finally, for you sitting right there at home on your television screen, y'all have rules too. First, I need you to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you need to do in order to stay so weedy tapped into us. We do this type of stuff 7 times a month across 3 different platforms. And you want to make sure you are connected with the best poets that this, honestly, I used to say the Bay, but we're not local anymore. We're online. We have some of the best poets that the globe has to offer, and you don't want to miss it. You really don't. You really don't. I'm constantly blown away by the work that is put on this stage by people who sign up. And you want to be constantly blown away too. So you should like, share, and subscribe on all of the platforms. And then go a step further and comment on the live stream feed. Let these poets know how much you love their poems and love their work. It is dry as hell to be in here without an audience. So please show your love, show your snaps, show your claps, give good vibes. But whatever you do, like, let us know how you're feeling. But don't be a dick. No hate speech. Don't be rude. It's nothing but love in the comment section, or it's gonna be nothing but blocks on my fingers. I don't play. These poets are precious. These are my babies. I will fight over my babies. Please do not disrespect them on the internet. So yes, share love, share love, share love. And also, just for everybody, something to keep in mind is that we are a freedom of speech zone, which means people are going to be coming up here and talking about a variety of different topics. We encourage the use of trigger and content warnings to allow people to take the space that they need in order to be safe. We also understand that freedom of speech does not mean freedom from the consequences of what you said. So if we hear anything fucked up, we will have a conversation with you. If you hear something fucked up, have a conversation with us so we can have facilitate the necessary conversations that will lead to healing. We believe in accountability. We believe in communication and transparency, but we can't have that without your help. So if you hear something, please say something, because we can't catch everything. Lit. Those are our rules. Are y'all ready to hear who's going to be competing? Yeah. We'll be reading in this order. We got Moody Black, we got Mai, we got Tino, we got Chardonnay, we got Colin, we got Gaia's Child, and then we got Nicole Tracy. Give it up for every single person who is going to be touching this stage tonight. Gang, 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 gang. Lit. I think we have our rules, we have our poets, we have our word of the day, we have our judges. Are we ready to start the show? No. We need someone who will get these judges ready for poetry. I need y'all to say spill the blood.
Spill the blood.
Spill the blood.
For your sacrificial poet, Reggie. Etymology of the nigga bitch. Girlhood. Noun. An inheritance that does not feel earned despite all the bloodshed because of my proximity to it. Example. I wish I didn't have to sacrifice myself for my own safety, but I don't shave so I can walk downtown at night and not become the next forgotten name, kept only alive in the Twitter threads of the few people that actually give a damn. Boyhood. Noun. A weapon I did not ask for, but keep tucked underneath the floorboards in case someone decides that this is the day that I deserve to die. Example. There is a knife hidden between the folds of every dress I own. I have my will prepared and stashed between the bed frame and the mattress. Story goes, all Black boys do is die before they can become men. My cousins choked on lead while I choked on flowers that only bloomed in another boy's hands. Example, once a boy tried to convince me that his fist was a rose, and he forced me to swallow each curl-petaled finger until I gagged, until the man he swore I could be, nigga, was gender neutral until it wasn't. Example, you a nigga. You a whole ass nigga, bitch. He screamed as he scraped the feminine from my bones, bitch. Noun, nothing. Example, before I was not man enough for all of me to beat the streetlights home, I was strapped up or tucked back penis, cocked back gun tucked into the waistband of the panties I stole from Target last summer. Nigga, noun, also nothing. Example, Before I was not woman enough, I was butchered meat left for the carrion men who salivate over the bones picked clean by better predators. I am a sum of the parts that are trying to murder the other. My gender is the grief held hostage in the body I want to both change and keep for dear life. I am what I say I am. For example, winged eyeliner on a Tuesday and hollow points on a Saturday. All my father's rage bound in all my mother's grace. I am a nigga bitch. Nigga as in surviving, bitch as in everything. Example, I hit licks in Louis Vuitton heels. I walk the runway with steel bulging in my underwear. There is magic in surviving the unsurvivable. Example, I slay before I am slain. My edges are laid before I am laid to rest. All my femme loving all of my black loving all of me, and all of me loving myself back to life. Gang, gang, give it up for the poet. Woo. Rah, 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 rah. Judges, send your scores right onto Prophet. Please do that as quickly as possible so we can announce these scores after the next poet. So yeah, that was your first poet, your sacrificial poet. You're all warmed up, all lubricated, ready to just slide into this night of poetry. Ooh, that sounded way worse than I meant it to. Whoa. But we're ready. We're ready. I trust you to be able to do this. Audience, if there's anything that 2020 has taught me, is trust is dead, and the democratic process is the only thing that matters now. So I need y'all to make your voices known. The way you can sway these judges is by making noise in the comment section. Let them know how you feel about the poetry. Let them know how amazing it is. Judges, do not be swayed by this audience. I trust you. I love you. We handpicked you for a reason. Audience, I can't even remember who the judges are. So like, you got to do this. Lit. So on deck, we have, let me pull up the list before I start saying on deck. On deck, we have mine, but give maximum love to our first poet competing in the slam. Give it up for Moody Black.
Mic check, mic check. I'm good. Do I sound well?
Yes, you do.
I know nothing's funny. Nothing's funny. See, I have a condition. I have psychopathic laughter, and for me, it's something I can't control. I mean, why cry over something that does not make sense? Like when James Harris Jackson, a white man, followed Timothy Kaufman, a 66-year-old black man, and stabbed him repeatedly with the sword. After turning himself in, he stated, "I was looking to get black men scared and have them do reciprocal attacks and inspire white men to do similar things." Isn't that crazy? Or like Emmett Till, at age 14, was accused of whistling at a white woman. When the lady's husband heard about it, him and his goons hunted him down, gouged out his eyes, shot him in the head, and threw his body tied to a cotton gin fan barbed wire into the Tallahatchie River. And y'all wonder why we scared. We always knew that they killed black people, no matter 14 or 66. And now I'm always smiling, still considered a second-class citizen, still have to ask for civil liberties, still told to let the past go, but the past got close to a 500-year chokehold on my people. It's a killing joke. No, I know nothing's funny. See, I have a condition. I have psychopathic laughter. But for me, it's something I can't control. But it's funny how one race don't like another race because of how another race look or think. Or they think we don't have the capabilities to think. They think we're expendable. It's like they lost their minds. That's why we keep losing our Oscar Grants, Trayvon Martins, Sandra Bland's, Philando Castiles, and still people are tired of hearing their names in a poem. But if you don't say their names, they done died twice. Isn't that funny? A velocity of murdered melanated people, or the kin when they're killing us, a hearty har when a black body hits the ground. It's just me. It's getting crazy out there because there's no more Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. They made a suicide squad of our Black Panthers. We're just hoping our Dark Knight returns, because it's always a death in the family, a sunset troubling the innocent, because they keep promising us the dawn of a new day. Isn't that funny? America, we've been scared of young white males that grow up to wear white to cover up their faces, paint a smile of the blood of black folks, and kill for the fun of it. But America sympathizes with those jokers. As long as it's black people dying, it's a manslaughter cracking up, a lynching of giggles. It's an assassination that'll leave you in stitches. They will deal and root our will to live. No, I know. Nothing's funny. See, I have a condition. I have psychopathic laughter. And sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. And it seems we will live or die is something we cannot control. Isn't that funny? Thank you.
Gang, give it up for the poet. Yes. Gang, seeing love in the comment section. Keep showing that love, whether you're in the Zoom or at home. Let's see. And let's see. Your sacrifice, I don't know who they were, whoever the sacrifice were, but they got a 26.6. Fuck the points. It's all about the poetry. Let's always keep that in mind. Speaking of the poetry and it always being about the poetry, this space has been open for the duration of quarantine for free 99, not free 95, not free 97, but free 99. We have not charged nary a competitor. We have not charged nary an audience member, nary a judge, nary a nobody to participate, to view, to experience the artistry that happens in this space for the duration of quarantine. We have been paying artists and paying organizers and paying Zoom fees and paying other service fees for the variety of platforms that we use in order to make things like this happen. So we don't charge anything, but we do have expenses. So we do have a GoFundMe up. It is in our link tree. The link will also be posted in the comment section. We're really just asking for the community to rally around us and to donate to our GoFundMe. We have a goal of $5,000. I think that we can get it to $500 tonight. But you know, all of that is going to go right back into making sure that we can continue paying artists, paying poets, paying performers, paying organizers, paying community leaders to do this necessary artist work in our community without having to charge anyone for that. Because we don't believe that anyone should be charged. You should not have to pay to interact with our space, ever. And the only reason that has ever been a thing is because of capitalism, and we need to rally around to prevent that, because there are people who are being barred access to spaces like ours because they can't afford to pay to be in that space, and we don't want to be a space like that. We want to do whatever we can to make sure that that income is not a barrier to art. Income should never be a barrier to art. It never should have, it never will be if I have anything to say about it. And it shouldn't if you get involved. So we encourage you to visit our GoFundMe, donate, and help us keep this art, this necessary art form, this necessary oral tradition in marginalized communities alive and accessible and open to the public. Yeah, so support Rich Oak. That being said, we're gonna move on to another poet. So on deck, we have Tino, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up in the slam. Give it up for my...
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I want to give a content warning for suicide notes and suicidal ideation. I have never written a suicide note. Can't imagine leaving this life with final words. I have only learned to recognize last breath as a prayer. I remember the VFib pulse crashing, BP skyrockets, and I am dying all over again. It's the 4th time this year. And the doctors have had enough of trying to save me, but what else do I know? What have I learned other than being killed by my supposed saviors? What have I learned other than the act of resurrection? And this is to say, I wonder how many times I have died. Velocity I have to love others before myself has killed me more than the pills ever did. I have come to feel comfort in the holiness of death and unholiness in wanting someone else to feel my pain so I do not need to be resuscitated again. I find solace in the ICU. No one cries in the unit, only ever beeping machines and last breaths. And this is to say I've only had a last breath 7 times. I wonder how many more I have left. My good days at war with bad thoughts and the nails digging through my wrists always seem to win. Isn't that how the Bible reads anyways? From dust God made man, and man made dust out of the world he loved. I have slaughtered my body day in and day out, murdered the muscle I built with my fists, and God bore land that he lay down from his back. I made a noose out of the snakes he created for me to wear in the darkness that he painted. I used to consider myself familial sacrifice, learned I was less than the praise it would be composed of, and this is to say, I have sweat drip from the seizure, make me spit up all the dirty water that he tried to baptize me in. I have never written a suicide note, tried to leave on my own terms, and this is to say, resurrection never stopped me from persisting in the solemn pursuit of death. Thank you.
Gang, give it up for the poet.
Yeah.
Yes. You feel free to unmute yourself to show love as poets are coming on and off stage. We highly encourage that. And for reference, Moody Black got a 29.5. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, the artistry, the bravery, never the points. Yes. Cool. Yeah, just a special shout out. We haven't done this in a while. That's our bad. I would like to apologize, but I'd like to give a special shout out to our venue, the Starry Plough. They held it down for 20 years before quarantine. 20 years held it down, giving us a space to provide this kind of entertainment and artist space to the San Francisco Bay Area. I would like to encourage people to visit the Starry Plough Facebook page and get involved in supporting that venue. I do believe they still have a GoFundMe up that you can support, as well as you can buy gift cards. You can't use them now, they're not open, but you can use them later, and that money is going to go to making sure that they can stay open and pay all of their fees while they're not going to be doing shows. And Shaheen, Allura, everybody at the Plough, we missed you. And we hope with the rollout of the vaccines and hopefully a better administration, we'll be able to see each other and convene and have community with y'all once again very soon. So shout out to the Starry Plough, everybody. So on deck, we have Chardonnay, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up in the slam. Give it up for Tino.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
También de este lado hay sueños. On this side too, there are dreams. Janine Cummings. And so I should be grateful she put a brown face on the mask of an unnamed immigrant. And so I should be able to see my parents in her book, Call American Dirt, a true immigrant story, told by a white woman, a voice for the voiceless. Here is our white woman savior. Here is her writing, galloping in to save the brown people, to upend the violence, conquer the bad hombres. Here, I ask for a cut for royalty support to support my family, and she calls me ungrateful. Seven-figure book deal, 69,000 kids in cages later, she is still comfortable. uses her American visa to unfurl the wall for herself. When I say she's profiting from a story that does not belong to her, she calls Latinos a product of the cartel, a border, another El Dorado that is satiated with a proper pillage. I call her white noise, and she proceeds to create an abundance of static. She begins to sob and say how sorry she is about it to profit. I mean, humanize my parents, Janine, hide behind her tears, the way all white women do. I tell her, white women are synonymous with invasion to me, and she cries more. All the white women do is embellish a narrative and cry when they are called liars, says no one appreciates her work, but her white audience is still buying it, are quick to protect her and then heckle at me. I tell her I'm uncomfortable how quick she can make herself the victim, like I haven't tried to cast my family as resilient, just to have her write them off as hopeless. And yes, I'm bitter. How all these stories survive because of us, handed down from generations, just for her to call it anthropology. How she says La Frontera, but her voice is the wall, undocumented, and people have to crawl over how she can quote everything, and people believe it fell from her mouth first. También de este lado hay sueños. On this side too, there are dreams. Armando Alanis Puñolo. Get it right, Janine. None of this work is yours. These aren't stories you can bleed dry, but white women is audacity. Feminism is so American, it's new wave imperialism. White saviors so well-meaning. I empty my pockets in exchange for my trauma. She must think this is some kind of mercy. She must think we're incapable of escaping our own violence. She must think she's doing us a favor. No one is voiceless, not in the way you claim us to be, Janine, but you aren't interested in making yourself a platform for us, so fuck your book. Here I am writing you out of existence. Here's all the money you made a profit off of us, giving back to their people. Here I will upend the violence. It begins with you, Janine, and exiling you from our spaces to expose you for what you are. White noise performing brown face. White woman still colonizer. White woman still violent.
Gang, gang, give it up for the poet.
Yeah.
Bra, 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 bra. Yes. Let me see. Let me pull up my records. Let's see. And Mai got a 27.1. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for the bravery. Never the points. Yes. Lit. Judges, please send your scores to Profit. Y'all been really good. I've been getting these scores on time. Really proud of all of the judges. Please keep it up. Because on deck we have Colin, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Chardonnay.
Can you hear me?
Char de los gays.
We can hear you.
What is a belief if not a personal truth? I believe in myself because I am. Believe in existing because we are. Believe in dreams because I have lived them while waking. And yet belief can also be a knife. Believe me crazy for speaking on my site until you see what you saw me crazy for saying. The scientific method has never been trusted in the hands of spiritualists. How many predictions must be proved until these theories are seen as true or seen at all? Imagine being told you're on that weird shit for talking vibes and clearing chakras, only to be told years on years later that scientists have decided to validate aura's existence because the machine's sight holds more value than your ability to see. Every living and non-living thing has its own energy. We have always known this to be true, and the proof changes nothing, validates no other aspect of our wisdom, just gives them an excuse to try to abuse our gifts. Like the time old girl said doing divinations would send me to hell, but only until my gifts showed themselves as useful. So-and-so told me that you predicted what happened with their job. And I was wondering if you could also see if something is up with my man. Audacity is the only thing they keep consistent. My naivety allowed me to tell her that he wasn't shit, but she ain't listen. How unfortunate for me, wasting my gifts on unsustainable friendships with someone who risks going to their hell over unreliable dick. I still share my dreams with those in them. I've learned to prefer the sound of my honesty over silence. And no, I'm not waiting on their validation. I dismiss their doubt in this wisdom because I know it's true. Know the value of my dreams because I live them. Speak the truth I see because I saw it. Thank you.
Gang. Gang.
Yeah.
For Chardonnay. Yes. Yes. And it looks like Tina got a 28.3. Gang. It looks like, are we restarting the IG stream after the next poet?
No, we're restarting it now. Like right now.
Okay, so while we're restarting the IG stream, okay, so here's the part of the show where we talk shit about Instagram. Not the people on Instagram, but the platform. The platform fucking sucks. Like, why do you only have an hour to live stream? That makes no sense. Not a single iota of sense. We have more than an hour worth of poets, and we should be able to showcase them all in one live stream without having to restart and restart. Arvin, please tell me when I'm online.
Okay, but honestly though, they shouldn't. Where else can they watch? Where else can they watch us? Don't we have like a YouTube channel or something?
Yes. Right. Right. So like, if you would like to watch us on a platform other than Instagram,
we're back on Instagram, by the way.
Wow, that was a lot shadier than I meant it to come out. If you would like to watch us on a platform that the stream straight through without it restarting, you can switch over from Instagram to either our Facebook page, facebook.com/Berkeley Slam, our Twitter page, twitter.com/Berkeley Slam, or you can catch us on YouTube. We are also live streaming there, youtube.com/Bay Poets Unite. Those are ways to watch the stream uninterrupted. But I also understand the ease and availability of Instagram. So if you'd like to stay there, just know we're gonna have to interrupt it every once in a while to restart. Let's see. Okay. On deck. Hold on. Let me pull up this. I know I did not. Yeah, I did. Let me just go over here. On deck, we have Gaia's Child, but give maximum love to the next person coming up on stage. Give it up for Colin.
Colin, are you going to start your video?
For Colin. Are you here?
I don't think he is here.
Oh, wow. Colin going once. Colin going twice. Does anyone know where Colin is?
Chardonnay.
Yeah, Chardonnay, is Colin there?
This is weird.
Our nigga got kidnapped. He got body snatched.
Nah, it could be technical difficulties. I know they got trash internet. That's unfortunate. If we are able to get in contact with Colin, we'll figure it out. But unfortunately, we're going to have to, in the interest of time, we're gonna have to skip over Colin, which means on deck we have Nicole Tracy. But give maximum love for our actual next poet coming up on the mic. Give it up for Gaia's Child.
This one is called Hope. Unveiling the word and its spirit. Open up your heart, you can hear it. Where I come from is where I'm born. Born in a norm, in a form. It's like a worm in my head. A teardrop never shed. A psychological threat. But instead, I said to myself, what the heck? So I checked to the next game of light and shadow in order to climb up this ladder, leading me to the sun, the bright matter. With its atomic harmony seeming to us like a battle. this battle of ruthless beauty that lies within the nature, purifying rage, perceiving us behind our stage, for some freedom, for others a golden cage. Never losing the hope, yes, the hope, that cosmic dope. It's like a divine soap to wash the spirit with. A soap everlasting, hope never blasting, die and last in this vast multiverse. So let's reverse and get back to the start, where you've got your heart pumping, saying with every beat, I'm alive, I never die and I never will die. Why? Because there is hope. There is hope like a rope thrown to you when you're down in a hole, saving your soul. Like a ray of sunlight shining through your dark days, making them bright. So why fight? Fasten your brains on this overhauling flight. It's like taking a bite of them poisoned fruits on these trees of knowledge growing roots in the ground. That's the way I'm bound, with my feet on my head, feeding and being fed, reading and having read. So get to the deep materia, not inferior, not superior. It's like a mysteria hidden in the hiss of a snake, in the ground shake and quake, in the wisdom of when to give and when to take. So wake up and give us all an unbreakable break. You're a snowflake living too short to set your life at stake. Aware and awake, real, not fake. Lots of wars to stop, lots of love to make. You might call it utopia, call it ideal, but it's the only way to heal this phobia against ourselves and others. Brothers fighting brothers, children totally misled by mothers. Do you know what else bothers? The exaggerated self-fixation of others. I'm the best is simply not true, because there are many other colorful flowers like you. So the best you can do is to remain silent and act, step by step, fact by fact. But there is no silence about violence, no democracy in a world full of hypocrisy. No you without me, no me without you, no taken without given. Living for and with each other. I'd rather dig my own grave than to live alone by myself. Separation turns you to stone. One planet, one flesh, one bone. This is the love zone, so please enter the magnetic mystic center where there is one gender and nature is our big spender. So make sure your shining soul returns back to the sender and surrender to humane love, to peace and its white innocent dove. Cause enough is enough. Acting cool and tough is enough. Being rude and rough is enough. Having more and more stuff is enough. Because I don't think you want to be a human bluff. Thank you.
Gang, give it up for Gaia's Child.
Yay!
Yes. We love seeing new faces on our stage. Thank you for choosing Rich Oak today. I feel like a motherfucking airline or something. Thank you for flying with Rich Oak. Jesus, somebody shoot me. I've been at work all day. But yes, let's see. I'm trying to look at these scores. Let's see. It looks like Chardonnay got a 26.0. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Holy shit. Okay, I think we might have gotten Colin back. Colin, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so Colin's on deck. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Woo!
Mic check.
We can hear you.
So this is Derek after Morgan Parker is Matt. Meet Derek. He's my ex-boyfriend or ex-guy who I had a fling with. Derek, who says he's a former player, but only with a girl to call a trophy on his arm. If you've ever introduced yourself to me and I got lost in your smile, your name must be Derek. Because you know just how to smile, hide your danger behind your teeth, and get exactly what you want. I humor Derek and have a conversation because he smells of IPAs and I'm too drunk to forget that I hate IPAs. So Derek brags about his job or how close he is to his family, or something mild to impress me. Derek buys 2 more IPAs, and I pass mine back to the bartender when Derek is distracted, because Derek never bothered to ask what I drink, and I will never be too drunk to forget that I hate IPAs. Derek talks over me, says how he has a thing for quiet girls. When he stops talking long enough to take a drink, he asks what I do, expecting it to fill the time it takes him to swallow. But he spits as soon as he finds out I'm a strong woman, and the game changes. I become his conquest, not his arm candy. I smile, and he thinks it's for him. But it is because I know this game well, and I know I will not be his Friday night conquest. But Derek doesn't realize he is not the first one to try and rename me after himself. So I know all his games, but play along anyways. My tongue will not surrender to his, and he stops to tell me he loves strong women. Derek will try and become any guy the same way he molds me into any woman. She is quiet, so he likes quiet girls. She is loud and unapologetic, so he likes confident women. She wears resting bitch face as her favorite accessory, and he says he likes his women tough. I'm all of hers, and Derek is none of these. Derek just wishes to find a girl to bring home. The $16 Uber ride for her makes it well worth his time. But I have met too many Dereks. I know all about his gluosity. I know all the rules to his little games, even the ones he doesn't tell me. I know just how this will play out if I play along. And I am too much of a strong, confident woman now to let myself follow another Derek home. Just for mediocre dick and a forgotten name. I can get off all on my own. And it is my name I scream, not his.
Gang, give it up for Nicole Tracy. Yes. I'm loving the energy in this chat. Y'all are on fire with the support. And for reference, Gaia's Child got a 27.6. Fuck the scores. Judges, y'all been consistent, but fuck the scores. Because we are going to give it up for the poetry, not the points. Yes, it's like, I can't impress this enough. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about the points. The points are just to facilitate me giving out cash prizes to 3 random people at the end of the night. What really matters is the fact that we are all sitting here sharing our art. Everybody here is amazingly talented, immensely talented, an immensely amazing writer. I look up to every single person here. So no matter what scores you get tonight, or any night here at the Berkeley Slam, please know that they don't fucking matter whether you win or lose. What really matters is that you are here. I don't get up every Wednesday to host a show for points. I get up and host a show because y'all are amazing. Y'all are fucking amazing writers. So I just want to say that and shout out everybody that is here and everybody who has shared and everybody who will share, because y'all are all amazing. Seriously. So on deck, we have our second round, but give maximum love to our last poet of the first round. Give it up for Colin.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
I am homesick. I miss feeling the touch of our matted carpet between my toes. A feeling of home. You are safe and sound. I miss the sound of roosters in the morning and Galossidus stray dogs howling in the moonlight. The sound of R&B on a Sunday morning letting you know to go back to sleep if you don't want mama to make you clean up the house. And I do kind of miss cleaning up the house that felt like home. My home is a magician with more tricks than magic. His hands flash around in white gloves. The magic words are said. Urban development. And now a place that cradled me so gently becomes everything my mother warned me about. I enter Richmond and hear, keep out of trouble. I turn on to San Pablo and she says, this world ain't made for you. I pass the casino and I hear her say, children of the earth will always be treated like dirt. I turn left at my favorite corner store and she says, I better not see you on the evening news. I arrive in front of my childhood house and I hear nothing. Not the chickens, not the dogs, no music, just silence. the kind that comes with death. I don't know if it's the death of a child or the arms that raised it.
Gang, gang, give it up for the poet. Yes. That short, sweet piece. Yes. And for reference, Nicole got a 27.5. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry and not the point. Poetry, not the point. Everybody do it with me. The poetry, not the points. The poetry, make a heart, not the points.
Not the points.
Flip off the points. We flip off the points, we heart the poetry. Because the poetry comes from the heart, the points come from capitalism. Y'all thought I was done with the political jokes. This has been a hell of a day. Lit. So while oh God, I gotta stall while we're like calculating scores and we're getting the top 5 poets to me today. Yes. Oh, I know what I could stall with. We just finished an amazing first round. We had an amazing feature. I know I've been touched multiple times by multiple times in multiple poems, like 5 or 6 times per poem. I've been like deeply touched by the words that have been said here. And I'm sure that you at home are thinking the same thing, and you're probably thinking, damn, how do I make sure that this space can continue providing these necessary programs? Because I really feel home right now. And I mean, you are home, like, because you should be at your house, but you are home because you're with us too. There are ways that you can support. First and foremost is our GoFundMe page. We started a GoFundMe to crowdfund for support to finish out this fiscal year strong and have the funds to continue paying features, paying organizers, paying hosts, and paying our cash prizes out to our winners. We give out $100 in cash prizes minimum a week. If we have multiple shows a week, that goes up. So, you know, like that really is a lot of money that we're giving out and not a lot of money that we're taking in, because we do not charge to sign up. We don't charge to watch. We are completely free. We are completely donation-based right now. So as a donation-based movement, we need donations in order to move. So if you're not donating, then we can't go anywhere. Lit. So just keep that in mind. And please donate to our GoFundMe. There are also other ways you can donate. You can always hit up our Cash App at Rich Oak Slam. You can hit up our Venmo at Rich Oak Events. You can hit up our PayPal, paypal.me/Berkeley Slam. And you can always donate monthly via our Patreon, patreon.com/Rich Oak Events. All of those donations go right back into running shows like the Berkeley Slam, the Oakland Slam, and the Alchemy Open Mic, keeping them free and accessible to the public on an online forum for the duration of quarantine and beyond. That being said, we got our list. It looks like Colin got a 29.1, and our list for the second round, we took the top 5 poets. I'm sorry if you didn't make it this time. Sign up next week. But yeah, we have Nicole Tracy, we have Gaia's Child, we have Tino, we have Colin Edmonds, and we have Moody Black. Yes, give it up for the poets.
Woo!
Gang. Lit. So yeah, we're just gonna slide right into it. And we on deck, we have Gaia's Child, but give maximum love for your first poet of round 2. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Whoever is screaming, I love you.
Woo! Sorry.
Before me, there was my mother. I imagine my mother lacing up her track shoes, catches the eye of my father. He is a slacker, but proactive when it comes to girls. He introduces himself, but omits the fact that he is cutting class, and a track meet is the only place he can go without getting in trouble. I'm sure my mother ignored him. She, just like I would be, required strict focus before a big meet. I wonder if she even remembered his name or glanced out at the bleachers before her event. But afterwards, he tries again, omits more details like his age, his last name, or where he lives. I'm sure he still loved his Mustang more than her, picked her up in it on their first date just to impress her. I'm sure afterwards my mother lied about who she was with. Overbearing parents and lying kids is a repeating pattern after all. Before my father, she has plans. Graduate and be a Sun Devil, have a career in journalism, the acceptance packet, not the rejection letter. Finally, a date to escape home just like I would years later. 18 comes before graduation. Her, just like I would do, pack up and move in with someone else, but go about life as if nothing has changed. And for a while, I'm sure my mother enjoyed it. The freedom, the boy she was crazy about, him taking care of all the bills. Until it all changes. One morning, finding out that young, exciting, and no need to plan changes. Suddenly, there is a plus sign before there is a person. There is an ultrasound before a panic. My mother rationalizes by telling the ultrasound tech she has always wanted to be a mother. I wonder if he ever wanted to be a father. But she celebrates a final high school fun, prom. Takes mandatory photos with my father and pretends it is just the two of them. I wonder if she realized this is the only photo her daughter would have of the three of them. I wonder if we both wish there were more photos of the three of us.
Gang, give it up for Nicole, Tracy, fireworks, gunshots, all of that good stuff. I mean, I don't know if fireworks or gunshots are good anymore, but you know, do with that information as you will. Because on deck, we have Tino, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up in the second round. Give it up for the return of Gaia's Child.
All right, this one is called I Voted. I wrote it in 2016 when Trump was unfortunately elected, but I wrote it right before election night. I voted, yeah, I did. I voted because I'm devoted to a status quo that keeps my existence sugar-coated. I voted between two only. One is a war criminal, the other way too bloated. I voted, damn it, and I say yes to my beloved system with female genitals to grab for free and their faces, we fist them. I voted for Hillary, then what else is left to do? She paved the way for Trump, sabotaged Sanders, and now the fucked is you. I voted, of course I did, for the lesser evil. One is the devil in person, the other we can call Sheevil. Or may I say, hillbilly, your next presidenta. America, thanks for your wars. Eat your own placenta. I voted and I will vote for the same crook with different faces. Every 4 years, a murderer in the office, a black man, a woman, or a racist. I voted out of fear and conformity, putting a sticker up my ass, showing off my absurdity. I voted because I forgot how to rebel. I know that I'm guilty, but then again, what the hell? I voted for the dawn of dystopia. My fear fills my life. My existence is called phobia. You should go vote too, without hawing or hemming. Sincerely yours, an American lemming. Thank you.
Gang, give it up for the poet. Yes, I'm seeing mad love in the comment section. I'm seeing people clapping. I'm seeing people whistling. Yes, really loving the love that is being shown in this chat tonight. And for reference, Nicole got a 26.3. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Give it up for the poetry, the artistry, the theater, the drama that is being displayed tonight. And get ready for some more, because on deck, hold on. I keep trying to announce people without looking at who I'm about to announce. Because I have this habit of being a Sagittarius and thinking I know everything. And I do, but sometimes I be forgetting. Because on deck, on deck we have, oh my God, it keeps moving. What? On deck we have Colin. We'll give maximum love to our next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Tino.
Hey y'all, mic check.
I can hear you.
Oh, Cholula. They say there were no weapons allowed in the city, and that was enough reason to massacre. I think no one imagined that something would be left standing or made a mound of. Instead, the upchuck remains of something foreign. Everyone has a name for it and doesn't fit in their molars. I've learned that all war songs are prayers told in reverse. I wonder what skin was set aflame here, what hair was unbraided, what sun witnesses the unhappening of its people. The flint arrow knives chime in and say they weren't never fired. The blood was labeled savage, made an animal of, and thus inquisition must be inevitable. Something must be spilled to make way for the new. Not everything sacred is consecrated. Everything damned haunts the language that commits genocide. There are so many fields of the dead, all of them unhonored gravesites. Every temple turned to mound, every mound surmounted by a church, every church an arrival to a future no one can tend to. How you were taught not to speak lightly of blood. How reminiscences become a chain link to ancestry. How I learned to speak of the dead in past tense. How skin is weaponized against me. How I'm seeing nothing more than a knife they twisted. I want to see myself at the end of violence and not the knife, with unclenched fists and braided hair. And even in claiming my beauty, there is blood of mine I've been forced to wade through, just to end at the foothill of a church, just to climb over bodies, fall to my knees, and swear.
Gang, give it up for the poet. Yes. Gang. Yes. I am seeing mad love in the chat. Keep sharing your love, whether you're at home or here in the Zoom. Share your love. Let us know how you feel about all this amazing poetry. And stay prepared, because on deck we got Moody Black. Oh, let me announce the scores. Let me not even skip over that. Oh, I didn't get it. Can I get the last score, Prophet?
Still waiting for the score for Guy's Child.
Oh, while we're waiting on our last judge to get our score to Prophet, I will just once again shout out our GoFundMe. We provide this show, the Oakland Poetry Slam, and the Alchemy Open Mic for free $99, free $95, free $76. Basically, nobody who interacts with our space has to pay to be here. We do have to pay to be here and to have people here, and to provide a space in order to facilitate this artistic journey, which means, we have no income, but we do have bills. And that's where you come in. You have a GoFundMe. We do need your support in order to continue providing this space for free. The Berkeley Poetry Slam has been going on since 1998, pandemic or nah. We've been around for damn near as long as I've been alive. And it's just really important that we keep institutions like this that are providing necessary, radical, open, inclusive, artistic spaces alive, especially during the pandemic, especially when our local, our state, our federal governments are not supporting programs like this, and especially when the little support that we are getting is being cut because of COVID-19 budget cuts of larger nonprofits and funders in the city and local governments. So it is extremely important now more than ever to show your support for the work that we do, because if you don't, we won't be able to do it. So on deck, we got Moody Black. But yeah, I do have the score. Gaia's Child got a 28.1. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet and the bravery, the artistry, the talent. Yes, because on deck we have Moody Black, but give maximum love to our penultimate poet of the night. Give it up for Colin.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
Okay. I stepped in a blood puddle on my way to work the other day. I noticed that there was no trail, just a bloody pool. Like someone just dropped there and never moved again. And all I can think is, damn, that's just how shit goes. But ain't it a shame how accustomed we are to death around here? That me and my niggas been to more funerals than baby showers. We drink from a chalice of blood and call this wine bittersweet. We watch big homies die and still look up to them. We go to their funerals and say, damn, don't he look nice in that suit? Like it don't matter how quick we die as long as our clothes look nice in the casket. And I wonder whose grave I just stepped on. And if they knew that their legacy would be a nameless trail of bloody footsteps, I scrubbed blood off my shoes that evening. I hear gunshots in the distance as a mother scrubs blood off her hands. I try to erase the evidence of death from the bottom of my feet, but I still feel guilt start to crawl across my fingers like my hands were soaked red, so I scrubbed them too. Because how many times did I cheat death? Did my luck come at someone else's expense? Like how many niggas can I lose before I start to lose myself? I scrub my hands as I try to wash away survivor's guilt. It's a tougher stain than blood, and I don't think I got the right kind of soap. Is there Dove for a nigga who outlived all their cousins? Is there hand sanitizer that kills 99.9% of memories of bullets and caskets? Is there Windex to wipe away this trauma with a street free shine? I scrub my hands until they are raw and red. Blood's pooling in the sink. There is no trail. Like I just dropped right there and never moved again.
We haven't even gotten the points. I'm already getting ahead of myself because I'm really on fuck these scores tonight. I'm always an unbiased host, you know, but like I can unbiasedly say fuck these scores tonight. I can unbiasedly say fuck these scores. Judges, you're doing great. Judges, you are doing great. But yeah, thank you for being consistent. Audience, it is your job to show love in the comment section in an attempt to sway these scores. So I am depending on you to let everybody know how you feel. So lit. It looks like Tino got a 28.3. Again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet and not the points. So on deck, we have figuring out who won this mug and going home. But give maximum love to our last poet of the night. Give it up for Moody Black.
Woo!
You're muted.
Oh. So one day I was hanging out in the hood, you know, on writer's block. Ran into my homie Imagery, told me to be careful out here on these sheets. There are some dark places, pitch black with the stench of fear, harsh words that'll weigh heavy like a weight on your soul. Folk will poetry slam you out here. Score your poem lower than what it deserves, but I been heard about them score creeps. So I stay ready. But he was like, nah, bro. They be looking for a sacrificial poet. Told me about a wordsmith a long time ago when over time with the stanzas, he had too many rhyme schemes. That's when the judge threw the checkbook at him. To this day, he's still living with that time penalty. He kept saying, it's rough out here in these seats. I just feel like Imagery has some internal rhyme issues. So I went on down to Illusion Avenue. Folk knew I was new to the scene. I guess the blank verse on my face was my Achilles heel. Ran into alliteration. He got to talk about some different things with the same letter. Said, bruh, bars don't belong here. Better be gone before these proverbial beasts give you a beat down. So I dipped out. But the further I walked, I started seeing folk pull out their poetic devices. So I paused. Cicero. Didn't want to make the wrong moves, etc. Then I noticed there was one couplet just staring at me, trigger fingers on the iambic pentameters. And out of nowhere, it seemed like it was a whole army of hyperbole. They had sawed off similes, looked long like a giraffe leg. It seemed like it was about to jump off everybody in their figurative language. I felt vulnerable because I was on their literary terms. But Haku, he jumped out and accidentally bumped into irony and irony. He didn't like Haku because he's always short with him. So a gang of puns started stressing Haku's syllables. Haku in the corner started yelling, y'all don't want problems. We can step outside right now. Easy bake oven. He didn't make sense sounding all traditional, but Paradox screamed, he ain't no gangster. He ain't nothing but a tanker. He ain't never pop nothing. He ain't never bang. He ain't no onomatopoeia. That's what Metaphor had enough. Cause he be cup runneth over. He be gas tank full of this bull semblance. He stood up. He called to the squad, allegories, mount up. We about to whoop his assonance. By Haku, he used his poetic foot and ran several meters. He didn't want no smoke, so he just refrained, but always seemed to be in the middle of things. But it didn't matter, because they started busting quatrains with a ballad of bullet points. It was a personification of pain. And I was like, that's enough. Why is there always a war with words? Use your poetic devices for good. We should feel safe out here in these sheets. Can we all just get along? Can't you see that it takes a villanelle to raise a conundrum? So let's put this thing together and make one great poem. Thank you.
Gang. Give it up for Movie Black. Yes. And once again, for reference, Colin got a 28.3. Fuck the scores. It's all about the poetry, not the points. Yes. Wow, I'm really trying to stall. As we I'm trying to stall while we wait for these points. Let's see, what do we have coming up? I don't know. I have ADHD. I don't have the memory. Like, I know who all we done asked feature. Oh my God, you're kidding. We got that confirmed? Oh my God, I'm hella excited because next week's feature is Cassandra Myers. And I've admired their poetry for like years. Yes, if you don't know, you need to find out next week. And then after that, we have an amazing lineup of poets for the month of February. As y'all know, we are Rich Oak Events. We're a Black-run organization, so every day is Black History Month for us. But February, we really like to show our asses. And so we got some of the best Black poets from across the globe, really, to feature. So we have an amazing lineup coming for February, and we have an amazing lineup for the rest of the year as well. You don't want to miss it. We're here every Wednesday on whatever platform you are watching right now. You can also check out our sister shows, the Alchemy Open Mic, every first and third Saturday on Instagram Live at Rich Oak Alchemy. You can also catch our other sister show, our sister slam, the Oakland Poetry Slam, every third Tuesday via the Oakland Slam Facebook page, Instagram at Oakland Slam, Twitter at Oakland Slam, and YouTube at youtube.com/Bay Poets Unite. Lit. Dang, I almost have these scores. I'm waiting on one last score. Gang, we have these scores. So I'm gonna imagine a baby drum roll, because in third place, winning a grand total of $20 American. Give it up for Tino.
Yay!
Yeah.
Everyone.
Go Tina. Go Tina. We
can't
can't
hear
hear you, but
any contribution that y'all do give us would be really great. Babe, can you mute yourself, please? And yeah, just be here support us, and thank y'all for showing up here tonight. Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
Gang. Give it up one more time for Tino. Okay. I'm imagining a, like, not a, I guess a teenage drum roll, because what's like older than a baby but like younger than adult? I guess a teenager, a child drum roll. Because in second place with a 57.4, give it up for Colin. Speech.
Oh, gang. Thank you. And Reggie, I think the word you were looking for was like adolescent drum roll.
Thank you. Adolescent drum roll.
That the motherfucker hosting a poetry slam would be good with words, but here you are.
I work in social services with adolescents between the ages of 13 and 24, so I really should know the word adolescent.
Reggie, what have you been using instead of adolescent? Have you just been going around calling kids older than babies but younger than adults little niggas or something?
No, it's kids. It's kids. If you're younger than me, you're a kid. You're a child. I'm sorry. No, if you're anyone younger than me as a child, I'm 24, you could be 23 and 3/4, and I'm gonna be like, child. Like, I don't know. I don't look down on you. It's the nature of my work. I work with people up until my age. So like anybody younger than me could be a potential client. So I treat them as not children, but just as people that I have the same boundaries as I would with children.
So little niggas is what I'm hearing.
No.
What about 25 or 26? Like, is that?
That's older than me. You are officially if you're older than me, you're an adult. If you're younger than me, you're a child. If you're me, you're definitely a child. But we're not here to talk about what I think about like ages and like at what age is somebody an adult. We're here to talk about who won this slam. So speaking of adults, I need an adult drum roll. Because in first place with a 58.9, give it up for Moody Black.
Oh my God. Congratulations. Yay.
Man, thanks. Thank y'all. Man, thank you guys for y'all just being incredible. You know, old Southern boy right here in South Carolina. I want to say I appreciate y'all for this platform and all of y'all inspirations, man. They say iron sharpens iron. So I definitely love to come back again and keep, growing with y'all. So I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love.
For sure. Thank you for those kind words. You are always welcome in our space. That goes for everyone here. Thank you, Moody. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Chardonnay, Nicole, my Gaia's child, Tino. Thank you to our feature, Sarah. Thank you to our judges. That was our show. We will be right back here next week with the Berkeley Poetry Slam featuring Cassandra Myers. I'm super excited for that. Y'all should be super excited for that. If you're not super excited for that, look up Cassandra Myers on YouTube, look at a couple of their button poetry videos, and then get back to me and tell me you're not excited. But if you can't tell, I'm like a little bit of a stan. So I'm really excited for next week. I hope to see y'all there. We have posted our sign-up list in the comment section of both the Zoom and our live stream. Please sign up for our next shows. But yeah, you should definitely stay safe, stay well, stay beautiful, and we will see y'all right back here again next week.